All right, hello YouTube. Welcome back to the first piece of alpha content since like 6 months ago, probably. I'm here with Starkley, and yeah, say hello.
Hello, hey everyone.
A wonderful voice. And today we're gonna be spectating I'm gonna call it a grudge match between Rose uh, rosecrypto.com, a little bit of advertisement there, I think, and Prostobot. And the reason we are talking about this is that um, basically Rose came onto the Team Wars chat and said he linked the match, said, "I brutally destroyed Prostobot, best game I've ever had. I usually lose to him, so it was pretty satisfying." And then,
Yeah, and I think
sorry.
no, I was gonna say I think to the point, I think we've all played Prosto and Gauntlet for the most part, and he's just he's a top player. He's a top player in Gauntlet and a top player on ladder as well. So I think anytime you get a win against him in anything, it's enough to get you fired up.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I haven't played him in Gauntlet, but whenever I've run into him on ladder, we've always had some good games, that's for sure.
It's always fun. One thing I will say real quick is it's always fun to run into him early in the season because he's always testing out something new. And if you play him, a couple times throughout the season, you kind of get to see how his deck changes. And you'll see like a weird inclusion, and you'll be like, "Wow, I wonder why he added that," or "I wonder what he removed for that." So,
Huh.
but yeah, I guess we'll see him in Gauntlet here, and I think we have the opening hand. So we'll see how this goes. It should be synced up by now. I think it's been like paused for 2 minutes, so
Perfect.
we'll see. All right, do you just want to pause this after each play, or
Yeah, it's your
just do a
call.
live comment?
Yeah,
Just
we
put it
can
on
we can
real
run it
time.
live. Yeah, real time. That's good.
All righty. Yeah, we'll click real time. We'll see. We'll pause it if we need to.
So this is, I believe, America versus Russia. We got
Oh yeah.
the Cold War diehard Trump supporter Rose versus. I don't even know if he speaks English, right, Prostobot.
Yeah, I don't know if he does either. I've added him a couple times, but no follow back. So I think oh, perfect. Crypto turn one.
Easy replace. So
It's
that's the
basically
mark of a top player there.
oh yeah, it's basically Wanderer without the Wanderer is what we're looking at right now. Still ideal turn one with the Lava Lance too to boot.
Wow. He's gonna get full value out of that lava lance right here, I think.
So I think I don't know, and let me know if you ever want me to pause it and whatnot. We could probably pause it briefly
Yeah,
at the
sure.
beginning. So I think right now, obviously you lava lance, but you probably try and develop a minion. Um, I think you save with Gauntlet. I think you save the dispel and the removal too, though.
Yeah, if it's me, I replace Bellow, and then probably just jam the Skywing, the Bloodborne spell, and the Lance.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the right play. Let's see what he does.
That's a huge turn two from Rose. Like already, he's on the front foot here. And I think anytime you get to use Ragnar's BBS more than usual, like with Crypto and Mentor, I think that's almost always a win. Oh wow.
Now that's now I think that's interesting. I don't know if there's merit to that or not. We'll see because he's kind of given him the. He's playing around Dancing Blades, noted since Prosto can go to 5 mana.
That's a really interesting line though, because maybe he's trying to save the Lava Lance for more value, and he's saying, I'm going to be developing eggs and there's two attack minions. I'm not going to get a better natural selection than this.
Probably true. And you know what I'm thinking is from a Gauntlet perspective. Ooh, that looks like it might be an Iron Cliff or something. Um, oh, Wings. Not
Ooh.
a bad Gauntlet card, by the way. Not a bad Gauntlet card.
Ooh.
So from a Gauntlet perspective, he's probably saving Lava Lance for like a backline threat because those in Gauntlet are just can be game ending, like a
Yeah.
ranged minion
Good
or
show.
something.
It's a pretty clean answer there, but again, Rose is basically free to just punch that tiger and develop whatever he wants.
Yeah, and although, the tempo play of, putting the two minions down, he will have BBS next turn, but it's not going to be able to really impact anything if he plays it on the wings.
Yeah, definitely true. Although a 3-4 definitely a lot better than a 1-4, so getting some mileage out of his general pick.
I think I might have stayed my ground to prevent the mana tile. Him getting the mana tile, and I think I would have played maybe Skywing here, BPS here, but
Uh, yeah, this is the play I would have gone for, I think. Just keep your things far away from anything he might
safe.
have. Yeah. Because if your Skywing lives next turn, you're playing a 2-mana Putrid
Yeah, that's
Dreadflyer,
true.
which, I mean, it's not nothing.
No, no. Hey, flying minions can be almost as good as ranged minions in Gauntlet.
So Prosto setting up the Conjurer, going for the value game. That's a great Gauntlet pickup as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, man. There was a time where I think Conjurer was just like, it's always weird running one-ofs, but I think there was a time where it was such a powerhouse for what it could do. And I think it was especially in Vanar, even if it was random or whatever, just having one in your deck, that card was so good.
Yeah, and especially in Gauntlet. Like, Gauntlet, as far as I see it, is mostly about getting the most value out of your cards, and Conjurer is probably the highest value card in the game.
Oh, yeah. Even like Veteran Sylvar gets crazy value in Gauntlet because it's 4 health, which is already a pretty strong threshold. I mean, it survives a few different types of removal, but the fact that it demands another form of removal after the 4 health, it's pretty strong.
So Rose had some options here. He could have used Lava Lance in conjunction with the Ripper, go for a clear, but instead he's just looking to go face. He's saying, I see you've got the Conjurer, I'm probably not going to win the value game, and I can stun your minions and put a 6 attack flyer in your face, have another flyer, have an egg, and Prosto's going to need some answers here.
Yeah, I think one of his only outs is probably either Tempest or some form of AoE, maybe a Blood Tear. Ooh.
Ouch.
And again, that's not even that bad. I mean, he heals for 1, but he's getting draw off of that, so it doesn't feel like a horrible play, but
Yeah.
nonetheless.
Forced to use a martyrdom like that never feels great, but yeah.
That was the right play by Rose, though, because he knew he was going to get stuns on both of those. So at this point, I think you try and close it out. I can't remember if he had the Elucidator in hand at that point, but
I think he just replaced into, or he drew it at the end of the turn for sure. So he's looking at being able to put RG onto 3.
and still has that Lava Lance, which is insane. It hasn't been played yet.
That's never what you want to see.
Oof.
But okay. He's holding the Elucidator maybe for a buff in hand next turn. I think he's basically given up on any form of trying to control the board at this point, and he's just looking to push the last bit of damage. Which is definitely risky.
Yeah, it for sure is. And playing right into claim. But, we take those risks in Gauntlet.
Yeah, I think if I ever see a claim in Gauntlet, I'll just be like, all right, man, you got it.
Let's see what Grimes got. Oof, that's not bad at all. 7/7 with Provoke.
Nice pull. He can
Kind of
run.
makes up for the 1/1. I don't know what we're looking at here.
Man, what a cluttered board state. Ooh.
I think at this point he's going for some sort of body block.
Yeah, I mean, you can never really expect a 6 damage burst in Gauntlet.
If I'm looking at just the board state, and I'll pause it for a second. If I'm looking at just the board state, I think Prosto's got a pretty demanding board. Where, maybe going a little aggro for the last 2 turns, this is where you see it start to catch up. because if he doesn't have a way to close out like the Elucidate or Razor Skin, he'd probably be looking at maybe losing this the following turn. Let's see what he does.
Yeah. Well, that's just lethal, isn't it?
I think, yep, because it's, yep, 6.
Rose sees it. He set up his outs and definitely drew the burst damage, but yeah. Prosto looking
you get.
one turn too slow to stabilize there.
Yeah, but that's just to show you, man. Sometimes if you commit a little bit too early, it can come back and get you. I mean, I think I was watching Freud's stream last night where he was playing Creep Cass, and there were some games where it just looked absolutely horrible. But once you stabilize, man, you can end up pulling it out in the long run. Sometimes committing too early is detrimental, but sometimes it's hard to pass up on it.
Yeah, again, like sometimes the cards just line up right. He saw the Bellow in his hand, and Bellow is such a good card for like turning the corner and turning from trying to play the board to going full on aggro, because it gives you 3 damage that sticks around until next turn, and it stuns all their minions. And Rose knew it, and he knew he had the damage in his deck to back it up, managed to replace into it and draw into his Elucidator, and basically just played his outs there, which is what you want to do.
The correct way to go about it, for sure.
That said, I think if he played as like when he flipped the switch, all Prosto had down was the Conjure and the Wings, and I think if he continued to play the value game there, he would have also. That was another line that definitely could have given him a good shot in the game.
You just got to play around Bellow.
Exactly.
Play around Bellow. That's what you got to do.
Heard it here first. I know Bellow on flying minions is something I experimented with a little bit. Flying Starhorn deck with Bellow and Dire-type Frenzy.
I think I have a deck somewhere in here that's the Hate Furnace. I don't like to name. I mean, I'd name some of them, but
I saw a Furnace.
You saw Furnace? Where was it? I guess there's a search bar, right?
There is.
I really like. So yeah, I really like War Pup and Bellow together because it makes it hard to deal with, and it's just like a 5-mana play. I mean, it's not an amazing play, let's be honest, but you can stall out a little bit, and if they can't do anything about the War Pup, that's basically a free frenzy on everything the following turn. But
Bellow. If they play into Frenzy after you play a War Pup, you can punish them twice as hard.
Oh yeah. Well, the other cool thing about War Pup too is when you can play the 2-mana for whatever reason. If you use Rebuke, he won't hurt himself, but he'll frenzy everything around him too. So nice little play there. But anyway, yeah, I guess that was it. I don't know why I was expecting like a ladder match between them. I was like, I don't even know what Prosta is playing.
Yeah, Rose isn't a bad ladder player, to be honest, either. He plays Faults and complains it's OP. And
I mean, it's OP. I mean, he's good. The last 2 months, I think he was top. I don't know if he was top 10 last month, but I think there's only one person in S this month. But I mean, he's a good player. It's one of those. It's that debate, where it's Wander. We see so many players that get kind of. We don't want to say carried by Wander, but it can just win games, just because it drew. I mean, Wander's such a high power level, and of course Flash, but I truly do think Fault's the better deck, but it just feels weird. It feels like you can tech against it and win, like either by going fast or just playing a ton of minions for whatever reason, but like Wander can just win against anything. It's super hard to tech against.
Yeah, that's interesting actually. I always thought I prefer going against Fault just because the game plan is so linear. You know exactly what they're going to do on 5 mana, which is Sandstorm Reader. You know exactly what they're going to do on 6 mana, which is Fault Ray. And if you can you can kind of craft strategies and see the winning lines clearly. Whereas versus Wander, I feel like you can think as much as you want, and then they'll always pull something out their ass that you didn't think of.
Exactly. Well, it's one of the things, and I hate saying because it's like you can win against Wander, and Unflash Wander, you can win against it. It just, it is what it is. But it's weird because you want to it's like you think, okay, what's going to go down against a deck that wins, over time through value? It's like, okay, either burn or like something that's like an aggro deck but plays minions, something tempo based. But it's like, what happens when they draw their Rebuke, or what happens when they draw their Plasma, or what, you're playing 8 gates or something against them and you want to kill them on 6 mana. And it's like, okay, well, they just drew their, Azure Herald, Mystic,
Yeah.
Earth Sphere. You're like, all right, well, it happens.
Maybe that's why we see the top ladder players turning to Gauntlet a bit more. I'm not sure.
Probably can be. Either they're trying to get better at the Wanderer matchup, or they're just they're tired of the Wanderer matchup.
One or the other. All right. Well, thanks for coming by and checking out this grudge match with me.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be nice to. I know we talked about this before. It was probably me that was instigating the grudge match, but it'd be nice to kind of get some of these going forward. I think these are, even if you just post them on Reddit for whatever reason, these are some of the things that get people hyped up to watch games. So I hope we see some in the future. Yeah. No bad blood though. No bad blood between players. All in good fun.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, yeah, I'll definitely be on the lookout for more of these high-profile air quotes matches. And maybe we can have another Alpha Sentry Starkly video before the end of 2020 or whatever.
What are we in? 2019? Yeah. All right, guys. I'll catch y'all later.